great. It's a great way to start it off, Mike. Hawking up a loogie. Start the stream. Very entertaining. Okay. That on. That on. 1 minute. Hey Sky, come here. Come here. She got a little trouble because she's been crazy in our walk. So I was like, we're not gonna keep walking if you're gonna keep going crazy. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Giving the dog puppies and pets. Giving the doggos some loving. Yes. All right. Good job. All right. You're back. Sorry, guys. I'm sick. Again. Cannot stop getting sick, dude. This cold weather is just constantly having me. Ow. Catching flus, man. I was sick this weekend and sick yesterday. All right, hold up. Let me get you up here. Bum, bum. That's fine. All right, now let me go. Yes. Yo, Joke. How's it going, dude? All right, let's get this thing started. You guys hear my? Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Appreciate you guys being here and joining me. Welcome back. Sorry I've been AFK. I have been sick, as you can hear my voice. I'm just recovering here. I'm definitely not feeling good today. I was feeling even worse today. I just had to go to work today and finish some stuff up, even though I was feeling worse. My back, my neck, my head, my nose, throat, my legs, my thighs. Oh, dude, everything just hurts. And so I took some ibuprofen. That helped a lot, actually. I always forget about ibuprofen. And so that helped a lot, but I had to go into work today, even though I took yesterday off, and I was in bed all day. So I had to go in today because I had to finish up some filtrations. I had to get some rheumatoid factor filtered up before my deadline. and then I'm going to test it tomorrow and finish it up. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Michael. I appreciate you guys joining me. This is the we're going to be back working in React, Tailwind, and Python today. What do you know? My 3 languages of choice, I guess, or whatever, that I always work in. We're gonna be we're gonna be back working in here, but today we're gonna be transitioning our Birdie Rose close. So for those of you that don't know, let me go ahead and check here. Hey, Jock, what language do you know right now? I know Python, and I'm learning React and I don't really know much JavaScript, but I know a little bit of React here, which I guess has JavaScript into it, but kind of a loser like that. But I've been learning C, but mainly Python is kind of the one thing I know how to write for the most part. Now, I haven't actually written Python in quite a while because I've been working on a lot of other stuff. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so I'm wanting to, I want to play that. I don't want to play music. I want to play just beats. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to be back in Birdie Rose close. So for those that are new, for those of you that are not familiar, product grid is showing, but do I not have any products? Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so then oh yeah, I gotta fire up my backend, that's why. Pause. I'm back in this code base, so I'm kind of got to get familiar here. Okay, so let's go cd our server. Cd, and then let's go Uvicorn. Main app, reload. Oh, I can't believe I remember that. There we go. Cool. All right, yo, we're back. Okay. So we are back. This is what we left, or where we left off on last time. We had built these Polaroids that look really nice. We have the ability to have the pictures go inside of them, and then we started kind of mapping out the filters and whatnot. So I don't know why I stopped working on this project. Honestly, I need to get this one done because I need to get back to selling clothes. I just have so many clothes that I just haven't sold. and I was making good money doing it, and I kind of just fell off because I'm being lazy. So me and my girlfriend need to get back on it. We need to get back on the horse here, and yeah. So that being said, we have the ability here. This will take us to the actual product page, and it gets actually the information from the Depop scans, right? So in our scripts, we have our Depop scrape here. Right. So then curious. Okay. So we need to figure out where to go from here, really. I'm not gonna worry about these filters just yet. Right, I'm not gonna worry about these filters just yet. Hey, thank you so much. Majid Small, thank you. You're the boss. I appreciate your support. Thanks for the follow. Sub. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to gather my my thoughts here. Okay, so let's go to our product. This is our individual product up high. No, we don't want to do that. Let's close the server. Let's go ahead and reorganize. Let's just start off by reorganizing this code base because it's pretty bad. So I'm going to rename this to pages. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is this is going to be rename the add product page, and then I'm going to move this, that can go into there, right? And then there could be individual components that reside inside there. So what I'm going to do is make up a new thing and make components. Add product page comps. Right. Or let me just do components, pages. This is going to be page, right? Like such. Okay, cool. Nice. So that'll be the general structure. So then we have our footer. This is not a page, but a general component. So this is same with like the nav bar. So in our source folder, we're going to make a file and call this universal components. And then I'm going to throw navbar and footer into there. Cool. I'm going to make this the home page, right? Components, assets, any hooks that we might have. Whatever, that's fine. And then page, home page. I'll rename this. Okay, it's homepage. There we go. Now products. I'm gonna make this a rename. Products page. Now we're gonna have assets, Polaroid tapes, that's fine. Components, books, pages, rename to page, products page, good. Okay, so then footer. Rename this to navbar. This just has assets, components, hooks. Navbar asset component hooks, cool. Right, so now that source folder is a little bit more organized. So now we just have pages where individual pages are with some universal components outside. We have our app, our index, and our main. This is just for like writing our homepage. This applies the app. So this is like anything we want to have be here, and then the main is like, yeah. I guess you could just get rid of app and have it just run on main by importing all your stuff onto main. But it's easier to do it on app because app itself is a function, I guess. You import app into main. And you, whatever. Cool, so that should be fine. So let's go ahead and I'll make a note here, file, client folder, clienter, structure. Cool. So everything's still working. Hey AJ, yeah, we back here. Sorry I've been gone, you guys. I've been sick. I was in bed all day yesterday, dude. I just got these chills. I took some ibuprofen before stream, so I'm definitely feeling better. I got some juice here for stream, but I was struggling at work, you guys. I had to get my filters done and then bow out of there. Like I filtered my 2 levels of rheumatoid factor, which had a lot of chunks in it, so it took a little while, and then I got out of there because I could not hang. But I took some ibuprofen, took a nap, and got some food, and feeling better here to hop on, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be back up to like maybe like 80%, and I can keep going. 85%, maybe I'm gonna say 90, would be optimistic. Okay, so we're back in. For those that are new here, Birdie Rose Clothes is my and my lady friend's vintage online clothing store. We're not, like, I guess you could call us a reseller, right? That is what we do, is we resell clothes, but the reseller has like kind of a little bit of a negative connotation because it's kind of known for like price gouging. Whereas we really try to keep the prices, somewhat relative to the worth of the piece. I mean, some of these are just dummy prices right now, but like, the prices as low as like $11 or sometimes lower than that too, for various pieces. They're of very good quality vintage clothing that we source. So, and we keep our margins fairly slim, as we mainly like to just supplement our hobby of vintage clothing. Now, we wanted a way for us to get our clothing out there online, right? We wanted to be able to, showcase it online rather than just on our social media, and have but what we do is we do drops on Instagram, and then we will, with whatever doesn't sell, we'll post on the Depop. It's like an online clothing store, and we'll let it sell there. So a couple months back, we wrote a script here. We wrote this script. It took us about a day or so, if I think back. Wasn't that difficult. It looks kind of like a lot, but it's just a lot of simple functions of just, parsing through some data and figuring out what to do with it. Honestly, the hardest part was figuring out like the responses. That took us a little while to figure out. to how to intercept those responses and what those responses were giving us and what we wanted to do with them. But we were able to write this script, and what it does is it gives us back this. So on our site, this is just for the first 5. I have it just tailored to the first 5 because, or 6, sorry. Because I only wanted it to, because it has to have this information in it. This Birdie Rose Close ID. I also wrote this script here, this generate item number script. This one, again, it looks kind of daunting, but it's really, really simple. We just have a ability to generate. It just loads in from our file used item numbers txt, and then it just generates a new item number based off of 3 numbers and 3 letters in a random sequence, and then just checks to make sure it's not in the set of those used numbers. And then, saves it, loads it, whatever. And we just have some various things like load, save, and append. So like we can do it kind of quickly or whatnot. Okay, so the thing we wanted to do is rather than, I'm probably gonna write this to, definitely think we're gonna need to use Postgres. Gonna try to learn that. We're gonna need to learn that for our Pocket Farm. Pocket Farm. Our Pocket Farm app. Sorry, dudes. My brain is just fried from being sick. But I gotta get some water too. So yeah, we might use Postgres because I don't want to use JSON really, because I don't want to have to. It'd be really easy just to have it be in a cloud database, so that our script could run, right? Our Depop script would run. It would gather all of the information, basically, columns for each of the items. These are columns, and then this is the row. And then the row is all of the information, right? And so it'd be really nice if it just uploaded it to that, automatically synced it to our database with like Postgres. And then we could export it out to Excel. We could do whatever we wanted, right? And then what we started kind of doing the other day, or the other day, this was a while ago, was kind of making an admin page for adding items, right? We want to have the ability to add items and have it sync up to the database, and then on the admin end, right? Hey Tim. How's it going, man? It's great to hear from you guys again. TrickServe, how's it going? Welcome on Twitch. My lone Twitch survivor. How's it going, you guys? Appreciate you being here. I gotta get a haircut, looking like a crazy guy. This weekend I made an HTML scraper in Rust that scrapes Canvas quizzes and outputs each question as a markdown index card. That's a good project. That's actually a pretty good project. You could make it. That's a pretty good thing. Like if you had someone. College kids would use that. I often made flashcards for a lot of my stuff, so if I had it automatically happen, that'd be pretty helpful. Depop script, send the JSON to the server, and the server sends to the database. Depop script sends JSON to the server, and the server... Is the server not the database? AJ? I think that's what I'm not really... I'm trying to learn database stuff because it's really important, I think, in today's... I'm trying to get more familiar with it. It's honestly like this big... That and JavaScript has been these 2 walls in my way that I just do not want to cross for some reason. But I got to get more familiar with database stuff. rather than just scripting and just doing stuff with stuff. Okay, okay, to the server for my fast API and then writes. Okay, got you. Okay. So rather than working on the front end, honestly, guys, I think what we should do is work on that script. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to write Python. So let's do it. Let's cd into our server. We have a main py here, which is just our load file, which is a data file, which is here. Just have it hard coded in here. What did I do here? So I run this, I don't think it'll run, right? Yeah. So I have to go like server scripts depop scraper.py permission denied. How can I run this? FFFF, yeah, I get you, I hear that. Oh yeah, it's a module. Python -m server. What was it? Server? Or was it? Yeah, server.scripts. Okay, it's just the full path. Server.scripts. Depop script. Is it scrape? Yeah. Arrow finding module specification for server scripts. Try processing server depop scrape instead of .py. Okay. Okay, let's let it run. Hands free, baby. Look at that. That's a pretty cool script. I like that script. Okay, so let's go back and see what it did. So it loaded 6 previously used item numbers were read successfully. 6 previously loaded products were loaded. Browser open, page open, link open. Found Depop listing API URL. Found 24 products within Depop listing URL response. Depop listing API response was API parse successful. Found 0 new listings on current offset. So then it starts to move. Found 24 products within the listing Depop API URL And then it parsed out pictures. Found 22 products, found 0 new listings. Total listings found is 6. Yeah, because it's parsing for, perfect. So if we go back into our script here, it's parsing for, right here. So the Birdie Rose Close parse for our ID is a regular expression we wrote for getting out the item number. So that's how we're detailing the linkage between our website and our manual posting on Instagram, right? So because we still want to have the ability to manually post and not make it all the way on Depop, like we want Depop to be kind of like our overflow. What we do is, whatever we don't sell, we throw the item number, our internal item number, in the description of the Depop listing. It's parsed out during this script, and that's how we identify, okay, this item can be linked to, so I made a note here, I need to create a conflict for a listing that did not have a Birdie Rose Close ID. So I need to, I made a note to myself that I need to do that here. I remember doing that. Because right now I'm just skipping it, and so we're only finding those first 6 because I went in and put the item numbers in those first 6 so we could test on them. But essentially it'll have all of them, and then whatever doesn't happen, it would maybe throw you like a report saying that these were unsuccessfully parsed, and you need to go review those listings, and then sync back up. So the whole purpose of this is that I don't have to go back into the Depop and update things that sold. It'll just automatically overwrite and update the products for their new information right within these objects, and then sync back up the match products, right? So if there's loaded products, we take the match products from the database, and the loaded products that we got, we load it in, and we write all their information, and we save those as currently. Yeah, we say match products from database, and then loaded products, and loaded products comes from here. Which our file path is our server, database.json. So it loads in all of our previous products into here. And then what happens is it syncs it with the match products from the database. Oh no, that is the loaded products that I get. We get the product ID based on the, we loop over our Depop listings that we parsed out, get out the ID, and match it to a product, and then sync all that information. Cool. That's right. Let me go ahead and grab some drink, and we'll keep going on this. So what we're gonna do is, I think I'm gonna start to maybe read the Postgres docs. Or I don't know, I think that's like, yeah, so we definitely need to beef this up and think probably a little bit better. I also wanted to see if we could optimize this, right? To where it opens up the full screen, right? And so maybe it'll load in with the lazy loading that Depop does more products, and so we can do this faster, right? chart DB. It's chart DB. Chart DB. Database schema diagram visualizer. So what's the difference between, who can tell me the difference between MySQL and SQLite? I thought, honestly, are they kind of similar in that they are local, or am I not even sure? I know the SQLite is local on your file, right? What is the difference between those? What is MySQL then? Maybe that's the better question. Using Fast API for the backend for right now, but we don't have much backend. We don't have no backend right now, really. Trying to get more our technicals figured out here. Brr, it's cold. Okay, so Postgres. So this is chart DB. Import your database. How would you like to import smart query SQL script and run the script in your database? Paste the script result into this model. Okay, so I don't have anything here, but we can model stuff. Okay. So empty. Can I go empty? Get rid of all this junk. Get rid of all this junk. Delete. 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 I need to get rid. Why can't I just start fresh? Empty. Ah. Yeah. It sucks. Bruh. I don't want to do your onboarding thing, dude. Come on. Just let me do this. Here we go. Gosh. Dude, let me do an empty one. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have table 1. Right, this is going to be products. Right? This is going to be, I have an ID of well, why did I write this? I could just go UUIDs. I think I did it this way because it was easier than writing UUIDs, because UUIDs can get long. Okay. So our ID is going to be text. This is the primary key. Well, probably not. I'll probably make it this is going to be the internal ID. This is going to be a text, right? So null, this means it can be null, it cannot be null. It's unique. Okay. Got you. So let's go to our product here. Okay, so we have title, just text. Is it bad to make things like not null, really? Not trolling. Is it bad to make things like not null? Like, what's kind of like, what's up with null? Do we have title? We have a size, which is a text. We have a condition. That's text. We have a brand. It's text. We have a description. Which is text. We have a clothing type. It's also text. Okay, so then cost of good. So this is not gonna be a big int, this is just an int. Source, which is text. Acquisition date. It's gonna be a date. So then we're gonna have a sticker price. because I did pricing. My pricing dictionary is like this. Okay, so it's kind of hard to remember back how I wrote this. So I add this pricing model. If the sticker price is not none, so that I give a sticker price. Pricing is here, so then we set it to this default, right? Or we set the original price is to this sticker price. Right. Then we can apply a discount in the pricing via percentage here that we already worked out. And we can set a discount via a certain amount. There's a bug. And set sold takes the final price key, the amount, the buyer fee, and the seller fee. So then the available final price key is original price or a discounted price. So based on the final price key, I'm trolling. Lots of bugs. Don't even need to do that. Buyer fee, seller fee. Why did I even include these? This is just the amount I'm updating. Maybe I didn't finish this function. Okay. Man, I suck. Why did I write this code like this? Looking back, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I have stuff in here that like just like is kind of like not needed. It's just like filler functions just for like the heck of it. I know I did this to match Depop. Okay. Man, I suck. Okay, so we have... Let's just go through this, I guess. So we have a Birdie Rose close ID. This is not... This is going to be internal ID. I guess it's also... We don't really need to give it the ID of the database. Doesn't really matter. The internal ID, status. These are the statuses it can be, I guess. Title, we don't want things to be none. I made some notes here. It's just cluttering a lot of stuff up. Title, size. Condition. We don't want these to be none. Okay, you have the cost of good. I'll transition this to integer. Source string. Okay, pricing, sticker price. So this is like, I'm gonna make this not sticker price, this is gonna be for sale price, right? And this is gonna be an int. So the Depop ID, I'm gonna make this a string. Although I know it's an integer, like it's as a number, it's just I'm gonna make it a string. Slug. So these things, these can be none. And they do equal to none at the start. Right, because they get filled in by the scrape. So honestly, Depop description, I'm going to remove. I don't care about it. Okay, cool. So then this. Okay, so that's fine. This is not given on Depop. Okay, so you have to manually go back and put it when you sold it. It doesn't tell you when it's sold. That's interesting. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So you have to go back and fill in the manual cell. Um, okay. So the Depop info can be none. So this is listing date, first offer to customers IG or Depop. Okay, yeah, date we listed, date we sold. Okay, so then this cannot be none. Well, yeah, this can be none because we don't know if it's sold or not. So list date, you always have a list date. The thing is we can't really get rid of the none here on the list date without putting it like, we'll say listing info. So then pricing here. This is not none. Okay. Cool. Booleans can come after. Okay. No. Check status. Check price. Okay, so cost of good I call check price. The float has to be greater than or equal to 0. So this is going to be an int. This is also going to be an int. If price is less than or equal to 0, a product error, pricing must be positive, return price. Okay, so okay, so then we'd have to convert the price, obviously. We'll do that. We'll worry about that later. Okay, so status gets check status, check price. So we call float cost of good. So this goes int cost of good, if cost of good, else no, so no. Check price here. That's fine. Size that strip. Condition, brand, description, clothing type. This is going to be internal ID. For the internal ID, source, check date, acquisition date. So check acquisition date. Check date. Let's find this function. So I give a string and return a date time object. Under these attempts. Okay, cool. And I return the date of that. Okay, gotcha. Is that a return the date part? A date constructor, a class of a date. So it is a class. Let's ask date time dot date. Is that a stir or object return? Whoa, that could be bad. Okay, so we'll probably have to. This is giving us a date object back. Okay, whatever. We might have to deal with that, I guess, but it's fine for now. So sticker price. So this is going to be for sale price, right? And then this cannot be none. So well, I guess because whatever you listed it for sale and then sold it for, like what if you I think that's why I did it, right? Because oh, what if I didn't actually there was no sticker price because I was leaving it blank in case I sold it right away on Instagram. But I think we should add a for sale price. We can delete this. We'll do for self dot for sale price equals to self dot check price for sale price. So and convert the for sale price, which should already be an integer, so we'll kind of leave it. Okay, then list date, you check date. Okay, so pricing. Pricing can't be none. You'll do the pricing. Why did I say this? I said if pricing is none, self.pricing is the format pricing, else keep pricing as is. Well, I don't want to, because then we have format pricing here, which just takes in the sticker price, currency. Okay, and then in my Depop scrape script, right here, so we create the product. Right. The original pricing equals to product pricing dot get original price or none. If there's original pricing, you add the original price buyer fee. check if discounted on Depop. Original price, fees, buyer fee goes down to I did product sticker price equals to product pricing, original price, price breakdown, price, and amount. Why did I do it like that? So you give a sticker price here. Amount. Bro, I'm trolling. Hey, Playboy man, how's it going? Yeah, just pretty much I started reading books and doing projects and stuff. I have it all recorded on my channel here. What are my thoughts on neat code? What do you mean? Can you be more specific? I don't know I don't know, it's kind of a broad question. Hey, what's going on? Okay. I might need to come back and just rewrite this. Yeah, let's just get our product situated, and then we'll come back and figure out the scrape. Okay, list date here, pricing, so let's just set okay, so this sets it to a default basically, or you can pass in a pricing. And I don't pass in a pricing here. If I go original pricing dict is equal to the product pricing that we created. No, not that one. It's this one. For every product and oh, dude, I wrote this code so bad. What did I do? For every product in the products dictionary, if product ID is in Depop listings, we continue. Already seen this product during our parse. Else we go get the ID out of it. If the BRC ID is none, we create a conflict, or we create the product. We add the original price buyer fee. Yeah, so this goes original pricing dictionary equals to product pricing for product dicts. Well, what is product dicts? So these are just products that we are parsing over in this current response. Okay. Got you. So if the product that we have that we're parsing over has a pricing under their original price, right, we're going to go in there and set the product pricing buyer fee to, okay, gotcha. Now we're going to check if it's discounted on Depop. Discounted pricing dictionary equals to the product pricing dot get discounted price. right? This is the parts product that we're on. If the discounted price is not none, meaning that we have a discounted price dictionary, because it could be none, the discounted price amount equals gets set to this. We extract out the discounted price amount. We extract out the buyer fee on the discounted price amount. And we set the discounted price amount. We set a discounted price percent. Via this function here. And then we set the buyer fee. Jeez Louise. Then if there's a shipping dictionary, why does Depop nest there? I get it could be like less linear, right? Or less like their nesting it like JSON stuff is so. I guess it's pretty common for a lot of people to do. I just don't like. It's just annoying. Bro, what is up with everybody that comes in here and says, "Bro, when are you vibe coding? Where's the vibe coding?" It's like what? Is that what everybody does? That's like the new normal now? That's so cringe. I'm sorry if that's offensive, but I just can't get behind it, dude. Yeah, literally, AJ. It's like yeah, it's so cringe. It's just like I've had like 3 people just this stream come in and be like, "Where's your AI?" I get people all the time. It's like, "You don't. Where's your AI in your IDE? Are you not in Cursor?" What? The only cursor on my screen is my mouse. What are you talking about? Okay. Okay, so what I probably just need to go through and rewrite this. Honestly, it's just pretty rough. It's like really rough. It just looks like a lot to rewrite here. Shipping type, manual shipping or Depop shipping. So then I extracted out the shipping type too. Man, dude, this is a lot. No wonder I quit on this. I never came back. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this thing. But we never did anything with this shipping. We're not saving it anywhere, right? Huh. What would you guys do in my situation, AJ? Would you guys just rewrite it? Or would you try to fix the spaghetti code? I don't know. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck, dude. Okay. I think we honestly need to go back to the drawing board and refigure out the fundamentals of our product class. What is necessary for extracting out information, get that going, rewrite our parser to get that information, get it exactly how we want so it doesn't break and we don't need to come back to it and fix it, and then quickly get that into a database or something. Which I think Mr. AJ. Mr. Dean, anyone got any ideas? Okay. So our for sale price we call check price on the for sale price. So if pricing is none, which pricing we don't allow to be none. So we'll say if pricing, then we'll set pricing. Else we'll do this, format pricing. Right, so you can pass in the previous pricing potentially. That's fine. Now let's put this as the for sale price. Then let's go to this function here and just change this to the for sale price. So right now I have them I have them in floats too. Right, I could just take the value and multiply it by the amount of pennies, and that'll give me the integer value. Right? So just multiply it by 100, the float value by 100, just move the decimal twice. So it'll be 2170 or 21,700 pennies. And then when we want to format it back, okay, so for sale price, this is going to be an int, which is default to 0. For sale price, if for sale price is less than 0, raise value error. Bro, dude, we just talked about this. What is up with this, AJ? Dean, what is up with this? Bro, what is this? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That's like number 4. Dude, I'm telling you, this thing it's taken over. People don't code without an AI built in anymore. It's like so normalized now. It's crazy. Okay. So what we do with the price, we take the for sale price, we stick it here with the currency, and we set all the other things to none. And that's how we just kind of do this. Okay, we'll say format. Instead of format pricing, we're going to say default price. Format. We'll say default pricing here. And then what we'll do is we will put that here. So we'll just rename that function. This will be for sale price. Okay, so then we have the Depop ID that we get. That can be none. The slug can be none. And then the pictures, if there are pictures, else it's just an empty list, right? So the pictures is a list, which we have, great, of slugs. So then Depop description we're going to get rid of. We don't need it. So we have sold status here. And then we have here, so sold date can be none, if sold date, else none. Pricing, I can do this. If pricing, else, here, get rid of this. Okay, and then you can just format that up in some Python. So then we check date, and then that can be none because you don't have it sold right off the jump. And then check sold platform. This just refers back to the available sold platforms. Make sure it's available. It's just kind of like protection stuff I wrote, I guess. Okay, so that's fine on initializations. So this is going to be internal ID. So let's go here and do BRC ID, and we're going to swap all of this for internal ID. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, then we have an equal, where we set them equal to one another based on their internal ID or their Depop ID, else they're not equal to one another. So that's how we were able to determine, right, if those two objects were the same in our actual Depop scraper was with that equalization. Because we scraped over all the products, we created classes, and we loaded all the previous products in created classes, and then we just checked, basically, are those classes equal to one another? If they are, then we go ahead and update that product for all the parsed information that we got, right? And then this is to make it so it can serialize, yeah. Okay, so let's just add in, I'm going to add in some static methods here. A couple more static methods real quick. Static methods. So a static method, if I can remember right, it's just a method that we can call, kind of like, it's a method, it's like any arbitrary function. It doesn't have to pertain to this class or to the instance, but it can relate to the overall class in some way. Like, it can be any function really, but it doesn't need to reference the class, any class attributes or any instance attributes. It can be just some random arbitrary function, but if we want to have it nested in this class, we can call a static method to have it be kind of just a function that's just within the scope of this product. Kind of like these other ones are, right? They're not prevalent to the individual, like, instances. They're just an overall a price check, but they can be applied to the instances if you want, right? So let's just go ahead and define dollars. All right, let's go cents to dollars. Right, and then you're going to take in the amount of cents, which is going to be in an integer form. And you're just going to return, right, the amount of cents divided by 100. Right? We don't need a full. So we take in the amount of cents, which is an integer, like 2170, 2,170 cents, which is $21.70. Return the amount in dollars, which is cents divided by 100. Right? 2170, 2170 divided by 100. Right? And then, but the thing is that would return back to us. I forgot. I've been learning C, so I'm getting confused on my integer versus floor division symbols. Python this versus this. All right, the double is the floor. Okay, sorry, going from back and forth in my C learning, and then in this, it sometimes tripped me up. So yeah, we'll return that. And then the thing is, this will, now in theory, it should be a perfect division, we're never going to put in a value that is longer than 4 digits, right? Because right, you would never put in a value that's longer than 4 digits, or longer than 2 digits past the decimal is what I mean, right? Um, Cloud going down equals it not being able to wait. Can you explain the price formatting issue? The penny conversion thing sounds odd. Floats have weird issues with division. It cannot represent some numbers. When working with actual currency, you can get some weird rounding issues. And with currency, you don't want to give someone 3.04. It should be 3 flat. Hey, Lamonk. Hey, Nuvic8097. How's it going? Okay. So we'll do cents to dollars like that. I think that's fine, no? And then what we'll do is we'll call dev dollars to cents. And then you can give dollars here, which is going to be I guess this would be in float, right? And then you would return dollars, return in dollars times 100, right? Am I wrong here? Am I trolling? I'll bust it out for this one. Y'all, they're asking for the AI. Here you go. You guys can salivate now. Oh, whoops, sorry. This is a float. My bad. Oh, it just wants me to round. Rather they call it int. Okay. We'll call it round then. Is there lower latency on Twitch? I think so. There might be a little bit lower latency, but Twitch has some brutal ads that's I probably need to disable, honestly. If you guys aren't subscribed, if you guys could, that'd be so nice of you. Thank you, Tonkatsu, for the sub. Like that name. Thank you, Dub6M, for the follow on Twitch. Moran, thank you, sir, for the sub. Ruby Bros, thank you for the sub on YouTube. We're getting a lot of people today. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys are awesome. We got 22 people in here. My name is Michael. I've got a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I graduated back in 2021, and I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company. I've been doing that for almost 4 years now. I'm like a scientist 2 is my title in formulation chemistry, and I kind of formulate and manufacture controls and stuff like that, and like enzyme stuff and synthesize things in the lab. And I've been kind of working on teaching myself how to program for the past like year and a half now. I've actually implemented some code at my work too, in my learning to to do some optimization on some scripting and some mathematics that we were doing for formulation, which was pretty cool. Some pretty hard mathematics, or not hard, but just annoying math that we were doing for matrix balancing. And yeah, it was pretty cool so far. So right now we're working on, we have this product class that we're kind of polishing up here. And then we have this overall function, this script that we have to scrape over our Depop site and extract out the information, load in pre-existing data as the class objects, scrape over the information, create classes out of the information, sync up what is in the database and what we just scraped, sync up that information, and then add any new information to the database, right? But anything that's in the database should already be there because that's where it should come from first. And then it's just syncing anything from Depop into there, right? Let me think about that, because like what if we don't sell an item on Instagram and then we just post it on Depop, right? And then the scraper will automatically pick it up and it could add it to the database if it wasn't found, right? But then it would be missing a lot of information that potentially it would need up front for the instantiation, right? It would extract out the internal ID and status and the title and everything. But all of this, like the size, brand, condition, it's kind of in there, but we're not really parsing it out of there. We're pre-giving this information. Then Depop kind of does some stuff on its own, some optimization on its own, which I don't really mess with. We're giving it this information up front. Am I trolling? Did I spell that wrong? Acqui... Yeah, it's like this. There we go. Okay. Depop ID as none. Okay, those are all fine. So then, those are all fine as well. Check status is fine. Check sold platform is fine. This one is fine as well. Set discount via percent. Original price amount. We get out of the pricing dictionary the original price amount. The discounted price equals to original price amount minus this. So convert. And then we set the discount price amount to the discounted price amount, and then the percent, okay. So why don't I should probably call this, I'm not sure why I'm not calling these functions when I do that Depop scrape. Probably wrote it afterwards. I'm doing this again in there. Set discount via an amount versus, and then set fees as well. Fees is pricing fees. It's based on the price key. You would get the fees of the associated already, or you set them to 0. Stuff that pricing price keys. If buyer fee is not none. Oh, so if you give a buyer fee and a seller fee, then you can put them in here. Or you get the fees out or set them to a default. Got you. Okay, nice. And this is getting warm. Hey, Ray. Oh no, more vibe codes. Bruh. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to come back and do something with these functions. Honestly, I might get rid of them or comment them out for right now because I don't really want them here. I might come back to them and re-implement them, but I'm not really, yeah, I'm gonna comment those out. I'll say, come back to these if needed. Okay, so this is kind of like the bare minimum that we needed, right? Okay. So in our Depop scrape, we check response. We say the length of our Depop listing is M. Okay, this is how many there are here. We print found Depop listing. If there was a /sold or /product in the URL, the response we got, then we print this. We get the response from it. And we have product dictionaries. So this is going to be Depop parsed product dictionaries. So I'm gonna rename this so I won't forget. Okay. So for every Depop product, come on. Okay, for every Depop product in the Depop parsed products, product dictionaries, let me go here. Let me do there we go. Okay, for every Depop product dict, we're gonna go if the Depop product dict has an ID, and that is in the Depop listings. So Depop listings is here. Okay, so this is just checking. Got you. So all this is doing is just because we're gonna come. It's looping over. I'm gonna save them in there. So check for. Check if ID found in previous iteration, right? If the ID was found in the previous iteration, we're going to continue. We've already seen this product. No need to duplicate, right? Because Depop doesn't send you the duplicates. It'll send you. It doesn't have your sold and an unsold. It just has the one, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna parse out the ID here. So I'm gonna make this internal to match our thing. So the internal ID. right? We're going to parse through the description of the Depop product dictionary that we got, right? That we parsed over. If the internal ID is none, then right now we're continuing over, right? Because we're just getting the first 6 because those have the Depop product IDs here. Not that these are the internal IDs, sorry. Right? Here, right? So in there, that's how we're linking these systems together via Instagram, and this is in the descriptions here. So it's going to parse out this ID with a regular expression in this function. If it's none, right now we're going to continue, meaning we're skipping because we're just getting out the first 6 that have the IDs for testing. But we're going to need to create a conflict there to arise and say, okay, there's some that we found that didn't have IDs. You should probably check that. AJ is pissed. He's tired of the vibe codes. Yeah, that API doesn't work. It's blocked by it's for like their development people to call from and stuff. I think. I started coding about 1.5 years ago. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we start creating products, right? So we're gonna say generated product, right? And then I'm gonna go here and type in prod. And then we're gonna change this to generated. Well, it's not, it's gonna look. Whatever, we'll do this. We'll be fast, we'll be fast. Okay. Oh, there's one. There's one. There's one. Okay. Cool. So we generate a product. We get for sale price equals to Depop product dictionary pricing, original price, price breakdown, price amount. This pricing schema they have is so crazy. So Birdie Rose close ID. So this is actually, right, internal ID. Right? Description is parsed from the... Okay, so I'm parsing it from the Depop product description here. Interesting. So... Right, description is what... I think I'm going to actually just remove the description string. I don't think we actually need it in the grand scheme of things. It's not really that important. It's kind of just necessary, unneeded data take up. So then we get out the Depop ID. Or in order to make a product, you need a... Oh, that's why I had none for those. Oh, crap. Okay. That's interesting. So you always will need an internal ID to make one. You'll get a status. Okay, so these can be none. Because then they get synced up. Okay. Right, yeah. All of these need to be defaulted to none because, well, for sale price will not. You need a for sale price. And so we will go ahead and put needed info. So you need an internal ID, a status, and a for sale price. But all the other stuff can come later. So pricing dictionary equals to none. Does the scraper need a full browser for the scraping? It's using Play right now and it opens up a browser. Now maybe I just need to simulate the lazy load in order to get the network response because I'm not actually pinging an API, I'm just intercepting a network response that's being sent over, just the packets or whatever. If that's the right terminology. So do we set pricing to none here? What is the original pricing dict? Oh, that's what I'm instantiating here. So I'm creating this, which is the original pricing dictionary from the Depop product, okay? Now I will set the original price fees, buyer fee, to float original price pricing dict. So I'm going to call product dot dollars to cents float that. So now that'll return the integer form of the fee for the buyer. Check if discounted on Depop. So we go ahead and check if it's discounted. If it is, then we get a price here. Generated product. We set it to a float. Product dot dollars to cents on this float here. Discounted price amount. Then we say that the generated product dot pricing, discounted price, discounted percent equals to round original price minus. Okay, that's fine. So then we set the buyer fee to product dot dollars to cents on the float call of the at, right? Oh, you guys can't see, sorry. Wouldn't it be possible to recreate the load by looking at the request your browser sends when you scroll down the page? Yeah, that's, I think, what we're doing, right? So the playwright is opening up the browser and it's scrolling the page and taking those responses. And then the thing is Depop only gives you about 24 responses per kind of page scroll as it lazily loads. So we are intercepting these responses, calling this check response function and looping over all of those values and getting out the new ones. Right. So then we check if there's shipping, and if sold on Depop, add the product pricing. So my pricing has a shipping? Oh, it does. That's where it's at. Oh, okay. So we'll do product dot dollars to cents on the shipping amount. Okay, and then we take the generated product and save it in there and keep moving on. Okay, I'm gonna see then if this will. Do we have any errors? I don't think so. Oh, we might here. Is this an error? Oh, this is a change. Okay, so then let's go here. Let's see if this still works after all those changes. I doubt it. Okay. Okay, no products. Oh, hold on. We need to go here and get rid of this line. Or let me actually just get rid of all this. And then let's go here. JSON decode expecting one column, one value. And Depop scrape line 175 and load products. File content dot load. Okay, let's see what happens. Go to my database here and see if it finds it. Okay, it didn't save anything. 6 previously used item numbers read successfully. 6 products loaded from this. 0 products loaded. Okay, then we got this exception here. Okay, and then we got an error. No, birdie was, okay, got you. So let's go to our Depop scrape. And then let's go here. I'm going to do Control F and do BRC ID and type in internal ID. Okay. Now if we go ahead, try this. Uno más. No, we got an error again. Title lowers object, none has no title lower. Okay, that's why I had none there. Okay. Okay, so then back on the product. Okay, so I was smart. I wasn't completely dumb. If title, else none, right? And then I have to do this for if status. What I'll do is I'll do for all of these for cost of good. Ooh. If size else none. If condition else none. If brand else none. There's gotta be a better way than doing this, more Pythonic way, but oh well. If clothing type else none. And no, that stays. Internal ID always stays. Source can be none. If source, else none. Acquisition date. Oop. We always have a forced sale price. If list date, else none. Pricing. Pricing and pricing else. How do I want to do this? Yeah, it would just be way more efficient you issue the HTTP request plainly though. Sorry, are you? I'm not sure what you mean. Can I get the HTTP request plain without having to scroll the page? Okay, so then I'm not adding I'm not adding a price here. So because I'm not doing that, it's going to add a default price dictionary. And I'm not actually passing one in. And now but I will pass one in there. Okay. Pricing. Get passed in as a default of none, which is fine. You don't necessarily have to put it for, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, good. I believe we're on the right track. So pricing we would leave as this. So you can either pass in the pricing and have it save in, or you can have it just default to the default pricing dictionary given the for sale price. Sold status is here. Which defaults to false. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Okay, here we go. So less than and line 113 of check price. So do price. And I am trying to compare price from an int, stir and an int. I'm passing in price as a stir. So my product check price is being called on the cost of good and on the for sale price. Okay. Which goes to none. On the for sale price, so it's definitely happening here because this doesn't default to none. So the for sale price is getting checked. So the for sale price from Depop here is being passed in as a string. So then what we'll do is we will go to our check price. Should I int the price in here or int the price in check price? Or should I int the price here? So this is going to give me actually, oh, this is where I would want to do this actually. So I would do product dot dollars to cents here. Internal ID, Depop ID, select status sold if Depop status is sold, else it's available. Sold date is none, right? Because we don't have it. But that already happens by default, right? Sold date defaults to none. So we can remove this. Sold platform is Depop if Depop is sold, else it's none. And then pictures is we parse the pictures with download to false, given internal ID is ID for this picture. Okay. Okay, let's try it one now. More bugs. Okay, so stir type doesn't define a round method. Okay, so because we were parsing all this off of Depop, it's coming up as stirs. So we need to act accordingly in the generated product here. So we're doing dollars to cents here for this guy. Okay, so let's just do int. We'll just force it to its integer form. Oh no, sorry, not that, it's float. Dollars comes in as float, like we're doing for the other ones. Okay, let's try this. Okay, did that work? It looks like it's working. No errors so far. Come on, show me the money. 6 products saved. Did it get it? Yes! Ha ha ha! Refactor Pro, baby! Let's go. If you guys aren't subbed, if you guys could sub along, I appreciate you guys being here. My goal was try to hit 5K by the end of 2025. I don't think that's gonna happen. We got really close. I really appreciate you guys being here. Cool. So we get the title, right? This doesn't have any title on it. But we'll think like we're going to simulate as if it did. So this is what it pulled off of from Depop, right? This is what it pulled off. So let's simulate as if it actually did, like as if. So let's simulate what it would be like for us internally having loaded these products. So we first bought them. We would load them into the system and we'd give them a title, right? So let's just do it for this first one. So this would be test title. It's available, right? Cost of good. Let's say this cost. This gets saved in dollars, right? So this would be like 5 or cents. So let's say it's 500 cents or $5. Size is we'll say this is a small. Condition, we'll say this is like new. Or we'll say this is like, we'll say new. Brand, we'll say test brand. Clothing type, test type. Internal ID is what we would give it, this internal ID. Source, let's say it came from Goodwill. Goodwill. Acquisition date, let's say we acquired this on 2025 dash, let's just say today, 12/16. For sale price, sweet, that works, right? Remember, it's converting now into cents, right? So it's doing it in whole cents, and then we'll convert it back into dollars for display purposes. So now there will be no rounding errors on our actual monetary values. We have list date, which is null. So let's say that we listed this initially. Let's say we listed it. We acquired it today. So let's say we listed it today. Right? Then this pricing dictionary. Okay, so the original amount was $20 with a $170 buyer fee, no seller fee. It's discounted from $20 to $19, a 5% discount with a buyer fee now of $165. If someone bought this for shipping, it would cost $649 to ship and to be applied through Depop shipping. And the final price key is discounted price because it's currently being discounted. Nice, dude. I'm glad. Actually, Depop's pretty smart actually for doing this. I take back what I said. It's a lot to like wrap your head around, but if you can really get your head around it, it's really organized. Like you go by the final price key. That's basically what it's being listed as, and then you just go to that section, and that's the information that's being listed. If this changes to the flag of original price, then that's what it's being listed as, right? So you can kind of switch between the view if you have it discounted or not, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so sold equals to false. Sold date is none. Sold platform is none because it's not sold. Okay, perfect. So now we filled in all of the information for as if we had acquired the item and loaded it into our system. And then we came in, and if we go ahead and run the scrape, oh, I got a, my bad. Acquisition date. Line 21 of a Depop scrape. Load products. Repos, burners from Depop scrape. 176 load product. Yeah. No, 176 of load products. Let me just search this. AQUS. ACQUS. No, it's not there. Oh, it's this guy. My bad. I spelled it wrong. Because it saved acquisition date. Let's do it for these other ones. Acquisition date. Acquisition date. Acquisition date. Alright. Now that I fixed it in our class constructor as well, it should be fine. Yeah, so now that I fixed it here, it should be okay. Okay, so now the point of this is that it should retain all of our information from that first product, right? We're simulating what it would be like to have entered in all the acquisition information for a product and had it not sold on Instagram, and you went ahead and put it on Depop, and then the scrape ran in the background. Oh no. Oh. Let's make sure that this is still there. All that info is still there, okay. So what should happen is that all the Depop information should stay there, and all the other information should be retained as well. Now, I don't have the Depop information nulled out right now, but I guess I can test it. Let's just test it. We can do Depop ID. We'll say null here, and we'll say null for the slug. And then we'll also say these pictures are empty, right? So this will be our test, is if this worked, everything within this first product should be retained, all of the information prevalent to what was already stored in the database, but just the Depop stuff, it noticed, okay, we found this item number on a Depop listing. Let's go ahead and pull that from the database, sync it up with the information that we found, fill in the Depop info, and then let's save it. So everything should be saved for this first one, and then this Depop info, Depop ID, slug, and pictures should fill in. Let's try it. Come on, show me the money. Come on, baby. I'm feeling better. I think my sickness might be coming to an end here. Yes! Woohoo! Cool. Look, all that is still there, right? And then it filled in the Depop info. Sweet. We didn't delete any info from our original data source, and we filled in the updated information via the Depop scrape here. So we filled in the Depop ID, the slug, the sold status, the sold date, the sold platform, the pictures, and the pricing. We updated the pricing. Nice. Sweet. Because then what happens, right? The pricing model, if we sell on Instagram before it ever gets to Depop, it just gets this default of, okay, it sold, the pricing model was this amount, and the final price key was the original price, right? But Depop, if it gets to Depop, it'll go ahead and fill in all these nulls for its information. But if we sold it on Instagram up front, then the only thing we need to care about for the pricing is filled in with the default is the amount and the currencies, right? And then the final price key probably by default would be original price, but it's none. Should I make the final price key be original price? Does that make sense? Should I make the final price key for the default be the original price. Yeah. Have I tried SQLite yet? Yeah, I did one project using SQLite, um, but honestly, I need some more practice with. Honestly, the hardest part I have with SQL and stuff is kind of getting it started. Like I really like it might seem kind of silly, but like kind of doing the queries isn't that difficult. It doesn't. It's not that. That's not the hard part, but just kind of setting up the schemas, linking everything together with the keys, and then and then I want to do it in a way where I can write it out with code, but not have to run the file over and over again, but not have to create schemas in my terminal and then not be able to see them. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of I need to figure out a way how to do it. But I think what we're going to do is use Postgres for this one and use a Docker container for development. And like we're kind of doing for our Pocket Farm project, we have a lot of projects going on right now, but um, yeah. Okay, cool. So we were able to successfully refactor our our scrape here to be a much more, well, nothing's actually refactored on the scrape, but the product actual class organization is much more um, understandable now. Okay, good. So um, now we successfully parse out products onto our page. So I'll show you guys the page real quick. Here's the page. That's the Depop page. Um, Let me do right. So here's the page so far. I've made these cool kind of Polaroid components, and this is what is going in there. Now, obviously, it's not $2,000. I need to do the conversion back when I send the information to the server using that product dollars cents to dollars conversion that we just implemented. But so this is in whole cents right now. Um, but yeah, it looks really nice. We got these cool kind of random tapes that go on. We have, then I also, like, if I change the status of one of these to sold, you'll see here. Watch this. Boom, look at that. It goes gray and has this cool kind of like paper, handmade kind of scrap paper thing I did over the top of it. And then if it has a sale, it has like this cross out whatever. So then you can actually click on it and go to the Depop listing. So I'm not actually taking business away from Depop. I'm still using Depop as my main source of checkout. I think that their fees aren't that bad, and their shipping, they handle the shipping for me. I just want to have a middleman, be the middleman, and have a place where I can have all my listings kind of on my own site, and then I can feed people to the checkout on Depop to go and make it. I just need to make sure my site is updated, and then in the meantime, what we can do is while we're updating our site manually with this script, is we can sync it to our database and have it all be manual and automated. Um, so that's what now we started this filters last. I remember last time we left off on these filters, trying to get some styles going for those. But we have a footer, we have a header, our nav bar, and we have kind of this product grid here so far. But it looks pretty nice, at least for the general purpose here of um, what it's going to be used for. But the thing is, before we go for today, is I want to transition this over into the rebrand. So my girlfriend and I, so we run this clothes shop, Birdie Rose Clothes. The name is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like she, back in college when we would kind of go out, we started off, me and my girlfriend, we started off as friends. We actually were pretty close friends and we actually were roommates. She needed a place to stay for the last little bit of her stay in my college town. And we would work together and whatnot. And so I was like, oh, I have a spare room. My roommate's moving out. I had like a couple of rooms available at my place. And so she moved in, and then we started hanging out all the time. And next thing you know, we started dating. And so, but anyways, we she would give the name Birdie as her alias to people that she didn't to like at like the bar or whatever in our college town. And so we had Birdie Rose Clothes as like as the name of the brand here. Now she's kind of wanting to move past this name. It's not really like sticking with her. Like it's not really the brand that she's wanting to curate. It's not. In her mind, it's more like this isn't a thing. No offense, but it's more like granny, more like elderly. Like it's not as like hip or young or kind of catchy, or it is catchy, but it's not like doesn't have that kind of youth hit to it. So we came up with the name and we really like it. I don't know how you guys feel. Tim really likes the name Birdie Rose Clothes. Some people like it, but everybody agreed in the Discord except Tim that that this new name is better. So let's quickly go over and just update into our universal components the nav bar, the components. Let's go ahead and update this to our proper header. So this is going to be the bitter linen. So that's the name we came up with. Um, uh, so we came up with that. It's kind of like not like a super play on like we didn't want to be too direct in like saying, oh, this is definitely like a vintage clothes. Like we wanted it to be related. We wanted it to be noticeable, but we didn't want it to be like too overly like blatant or but also have like a cool kind of like edge to it. So like bitter linen, like vintage clothes. It kind of has like that kind of misfit, kind of tossed away, kind of feel to it. Also, kind of linen. We can travel. We can like really expand into other aspects of like any kind of wear or clothing or whatever under kind of this overarching brand. So yeah, it's pretty good. I think we like it. So let's quickly go over to the footer. To the footer. Go to the component in the footer. Yeah, footer. And then let's go here. Let's look up Birdie, where we have this. All right, and what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about the name? Do you guys like Birdie Rose Clothes or Bitter Linen? I kind of imagine like Bitter Linen, like how I kind of want to make this site is much more kind of like indie web dev, like much more like think of like high fashion magazine meets like kind of I don't know, Pinterest hyper saturated like random core. I don't know, like just something kind of like those old indie web pages like that just had like colors and fun and like but still had some like flow to it. Right? I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's second. Um, what was it? Yeah. Bitter Linen Studio. But I think I rerouted this to a different. I think I did contact@bitterlinen.com. I made up an alias on Cloudflare with our DNS. So on Cloudflare, if you have a DNS that you pay for, what you can do is you can open up email aliases, and then you can sign up a forwarding address to your main Gmail, and then you can kind of create a free, not totally like legit, but like kind of a free, does the job as best as it will. You can't. So let me explain. Is like what I'm trying to do is like, you know how you have like contact@business.com or like support@business.com. Like you usually have to pay for like the business suite on like Google or whatever it is. Now I didn't do that. Instead, what I did is I have bitterlinenstudio@gmail.com, and then I set up some email aliases and then forwarding those to kind of organized labels in Gmail for those categories. Now, the only thing is you can't reply back as that email because it doesn't exist. It's just an alias for the forwarding address to your email, right? But it kind of gives it that professional look. Now you just, when you reply, it will come from your Gmail, right? But if you're a small business and you're not really wanting to fork over, a couple $100 a year for business email suite when really might not have the means to pay for it right away, and you don't even know if you're going to be successful, this might be a way to go about it, just to kind of hack it for the first little bit and then see if you can want to expand out from there. So what you can do is you can, if I own bitterlinen.com, so I set up email forwarding addresses in my Cloudflare for these various like contact, support, blah, 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 blah. um, Hold on, let me see. Sorry. Lots of chats. Oh, it's not you, Siri. I said sorry. Watcher, oh, you're learning so fast. It's insane. I'm trying to keep up. Don't want to feel like a yes man, but Bitter Linen is definitely better than Birdie Rose. Cool. I'm glad you guys like Bitter Linen. Yeah, awesome. um, I like them both. If you want to promote your products on a website, you should have a good SEO, which you won't have with full on React SPA. I don't want to be. Oh, hold on. You're saying resend is a email reply?
Be instantaneous. I don't think it ever is with email. But if your project is brand new, you're probably not going to want to just sign up for all of these things that start costing a bunch of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Use this method, which is fairly straightforward. It's a matter of creating a new account on Gmail. So if you go into Gmail and go in, this is by clicking on our actual Google account. So we manage our Google account, and then we do a quick search for app passwords in here. And then we want to make sure that we select app passwords under security. That quick search is how I'm giving it a very robust name so that in the future, when I need to delete it, so is using those passwords will also no longer work, of course. So I'm going to leave it in as for Gmail and just use of course. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. This is the part that uses Gmail. This is the part that uses...
Okay, I got stuck on this part. Yeah, I got stuck on this part. I couldn't figure out this part.
That app password. So if we grab that app password, we're going to copy that. We're going to paste it here. Now you can see by default, Gmail
I
is trying to
couldn't.
log
Okay,
in.
that's where I got stuck when I was trying to figure this out. I didn't know that this guy had a video on. I was doing it completely alone. I was trying to edit and make a reply address to, but it wanted this password for um the Google thing or whatever. Yeah, right. And I was like, I didn't have a password for your Cloudflare.net thing.
So we need to use a different server. We need to use Gmail's server as this. If you don't treat it as an alias, then it just doesn't work as well. So just treat it as an alias. We do not need to have a different reply to address in there. You could, if you wanted to, like you could put the same one in. It doesn't actually matter because it is going to duplicate itself. So you can leave it empty. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. This is the part that uses Gmail. This is the part that uses that app password. So if we grab that app password, we're going to copy that. We're going to paste it here. Now you can see by default, Gmail is trying to log into Cloudflare. At this point, Cloudflare does not have a way to send emails out. It only has a way to route them to a different destination. Yeah. So we need to use a different server. We need to use Gmail's server, which is smtp.gmail.com. You can keep with the same port and keep TLS. Okay. This server is the same thing you would do on an application itself, a web app like Django or Next.js. That would be the same server you'd log in. The next is a username. The username is going to be for your Gmail account, your actual Gmail user, because that's what the app password is also for. So again, I'm going to be using aircursor@gmail.com, and that's it. So once I do this, it's going to go ahead and log into this account. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Notice it says a confirmation email link was sent.
Okay. You just have to use a custom Gmail password, it looks like. For app passwords, app password for Next.js project, then you get an app password. Okay, I'll have to do that offline. That was the one thing I couldn't figure out when I was doing this, was like, okay, I don't want to pay for anything, so how can I try to hack it the best way I could? I just couldn't figure out how to get the reply from that alias. So with resend, you get sending and receiving, ticket support, 1 day data retention. Can you explain resend email tier? Send and receive emails, get ticket support, email logs, metadata, delivery events, open bounces only for 24 hours after the data is deleted. Yeah, that kind of sucks. You can verify and send emails from one domain, yourapp.com. If you have multiple domains, app.com, admin.app.com, you need a higher tier. 100 emails per 24 hours, 3,000 per month. Honestly, email servers are kind of confusing. I don't really know much about it. But for like right now, I guess like as if that Google thing works, then that pretty much takes care of it. Now the only thing is, right, the only thing that the Google thing doesn't solve, right, Tailwind and whatnot, is that the Google rerouting through Cloudflare or whatever, that will not, like, it won't categorize the emails that were sent though, right? It still sends from your Gmail through that server, just under a different alias through your app, right? Your domain. No. So then it won't, it'll like, will it like categorize? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Anywho. Okay, cool. Oh, so we got that changed over. So now we have got bitter linen. Nice. I'm also going to, so let's go ahead and, oh, this has got to be bitter linen as well. All right. So then what we'll do is go here. We're going to go here, rename this to bitter linen dash app. Go here, git add, git commit. Refactor product class and depop scrape. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. And then I think that handles it. Okay, then let me just make sure I didn't break anything by changing those over. I don't think anything's shady. Client, bitter linen React app, npm run dev here. It should still open up. Good. And then if we go to our server, cd into server, and then do uvicorn main app -- reload. We get this, and we get all of our products. Cool. And so we're still there. Nice. Making a trusted SMTP server is hard because you'll end up in everybody's spam. Oh, gotcha. Oh, interesting. Hey, Firecats, we got a lot of people on Twitch today. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys being here. If you guys could sub on YouTube and Twitch and follow along, we're at almost 5K subs on YouTube. Well, not even almost. My goal is 5K by the end of 2025, but I don't think we're going to hit it. Okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and do one last thing here. Is if we rename the file on my local directory here.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay. Right, if we rename this.
Absolutely.
To. Right, that shouldn't matter. And then if I go to my GitHub. Follow me on GitHub. We're at almost 150 followers on this bad boy. Hey, look at that. Green beans. Let's go. Lots of greens, huh? We'd be coding a lot this year. We had a little bit of some lulls in this summer, though. That's okay. Happens. 2024. That's when I started coding right there. That's literally when I started coding. I started doing CS50 right there. Now look at us. Not a lot of just light greens though. Let's look up repositories. We want to do this guy, our private, pretty rows close. I want to. So I want to accidentally show anything I'm not supposed to. I don't think there is anything to show, but. Okay, cool. Now we are bitter linen. Look at that. Cool. Nice. Looks good. Looks good. What else? Do we have anything in here of note? Hey, come on, don't be doing that now. Alright, cool. Alright, you guys. I think that wraps it up for tonight. Just do a 14-day non-stop stream, you can get 5K. Yeah, that's the only way it's possible. For real. He says, by SEO, I mean this view, source, michaeldeming.com. Well, that's my website. You looking at my website? This is my website. It's live. We built this not too long ago. It's broke. I need to add my project video here. Being too lazy to add it in. But this is my site for right now. It's pretty weak. I need to go back through and probably update it. Pretty bad. Just like the most basic React card template site ever. It's like, whatever. Oh, I built it in like 2 days. Whatever. Are you gonna add filtering and stuff with the database? Yeah, hopefully. I was gonna add in some abilities. I was probably gonna make these drop downs and then just do like a go. Like we can leave some of them blank rather than like nested menus. Maybe just 2 drop downs for like size, price, increasing status, and then just like go. And then you could like either apply all the filters together or just one or the others or whatnot in any combination, and then just get that filtered view. So it'd be kind of easy. Bum, 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 dum. Oh yeah, you're just talking about my HTML head and whatever. Well, can you like do you put stuff in your source to like, I don't know, or do you just have to like, or is React just not it? I mean, I don't really care. It's not really like that big of a deal. It's just mainly about the building that we're learning about. I know I need to get better at SQL slow, so you're gonna have to help us here when we get into database when we can start doing this. We're trying to do Postgres with Docker containers is our goal, so we're gonna be needing some help for sure. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here tonight. Appreciate you guys joining me. My name is Michael. I have a degree in human biology, a minor in chemistry. I appreciate you guys being here as I teach myself how to code and do various computer science related stuff. We did a session in Python today, which was nice. Got back to our roots in Python and were able to refactor some good old Python code we wrote a couple months back. And then we are going to start getting into, obviously, we need to start getting into database stuff for both of our projects of Pocket Farm and Bitter Linen here. So got a lot of work to get done here. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll probably jump back into C programming, a modern approach, though, and continue on with our programming practice problems at the end of chapter 7. So if you guys would like to come back tomorrow, make sure you subscribe and join us for some practice in programming, literally programming in C, doing some practice projects that it has at the end of the chapter. This end of the chapter was about typing in C, so we got exposure to, long, doubles, long, all that jazz. And so a lot of information that we had to go over. But thank you guys so much for being here for tonight. This was a good session. I'm happy with it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys. See ya.